All right. Welcome to Bardic Knowledge. Thank you for everybody for being here. If you are new, thank you for coming. I'm glad you're here. Hope you enjoy it. If you are returning again, thank you for coming back. I'm glad to see you're enjoying your time here. So we're here week or so, week and a half removed from our C2E2 panel, so still excited about that. Have a lot of people talking about it. We did kind of put those up before our game last weekend, so if you do want to check those out, those are available out there now. You can check them out on the Twitch, basically the rewind on Twitch. I think we have them up on YouTube now too, so super cool. Check those out. Again, if you are new here, this is Bardic Knowledge. This is a music-themed show, but we are doing this all in the spirit of tabletop RPGs, specifically our tabletop game that we're playing right now through Roll20. We're playing a 5th edition called Everstorm, so it's a maritime theme game, sailing ships, piracy, privateering, if you will. Otherwise, basically the music that I'm making on this show right now is all for that game. So the initial idea was whenever you stream, you either have to find music that is allowed to be streamed or that is copyright free. But if you put copyright music on there, then all of a sudden you can get your stuff taken down. So I am making music for our game, therefore it's ours, so we don't have to worry about any of that stuff. So what we've been doing over the last couple months or so is we're making themes for all of the characters. So so far we've got the Morgaine theme, which is my character. We've got another theme done that may or may not turn into the Kodo theme. We're not sure yet. We have got the Skeezer theme, which I'm still working on finishing touches with that. So hopefully by next week I'll be able to give you guys the actual what it sounds like with all the tweaks and everything done. So not quite there yet. But as promised, we are starting on a new theme today. So if in fact we do use that theme for Kodo, we have 2 characters left. We have Fulcrum and we have Balren. So I think today I'm going to be working on Balren's theme. So Balren is like an elf kind of seafaring druid, very, very much pirate, even if he would or wouldn't call himself that, or someone else may or may not call him that. So we're going to be working on Balren's theme today. Balren seems to be very much, preoccupied with attaining riches, even though he doesn't seem to spend much of them for some unforeseen reason, which I'm sure we'll figure out sometime in the future of this game. So if you are interested in those sorts of storylines, definitely check out our Everstorm game. We play every other Saturday, every 3 Saturdays or so. Again, you can check that out on Twitch. You can check that out, past games on YouTube as well. So we are going to be working on Balren's theme today. However, before we get started with that, I wanted to give you guys just a little update on some of the other things I'm doing outside of the music I'm doing on the stream here. So normally, after 2 sessions of working on a theme, I would come back that next session and I would tell you, show you the almost finished product, which is what should have been the Skeezer theme today. But again, I haven't quite got it where I want it. So I thought instead I would show you a few things I've been working on outside of that, which still are for the game. But instead of being like specific themes, these are going to be more like background music for behind like role-playing scenes, or maybe if we're at a location and we need something in the background, but we don't necessarily need like an in-your-face battle song, things like that. So, oh yes, and as Airlaser says there, we do have a boat theme that will be coming soon as well. Plus, I think I'm going to be doing a kind of like Final Fantasy does, where they have kind of a regular battle theme for... I'm going to have a battle theme for DM Levi's bad guys. But I do also want to have, probably make it later, kind of a like boss battle theme for DM Levi's big baddies. So those are in the future as well, but the kind of goal, the big goal right now is to get all the character themes finished. Once we kind of get that done and we figure out the technical aspects of getting this music streamed in the way we want to, hopefully we can start actually using these in the near future, maybe April-ish, maybe May-ish. We should have enough that we can actually start implementing this into the game, hopefully enhancing the experience for not only us as players, but you as viewers. So we're hoping to do that. So one thing I just want to kind of go show you real quick. This one, I was playing around a little bit this week, just with some piano sounds, because we haven't really done a whole lot of piano sounds in the themes, just because they're a little bit more in your face and again, kind of louder. So sometimes piano can kind of get lost in that. It's not really always the instrument that you're using for that sort of thing. It can be, but not always. But I was playing around with some piano sounds, so those are really good for background type music. I don't know, at least I really like them for that sort of thing. I can think of numerous examples in modern video games when things start getting quiet, or there's a cut scene where it's, a lot of talking back and forth, where there's like piano themes in the background. So that's kind of what I was in the idea of. Okay, so sorry for Plixate who just got here. We are doing Balren's theme today. I am going to be playing a couple other things to start before we get into Balren's theme, just to show other things that have been going on. So this first one here, I was actually playing around earlier this week, and I was actually improvising this. And again, I'm not a great piano player, but thankfully what I was doing was pretty slow, and therefore I could kind of think and play at the same time, and kind of come up with. So I kind of was improvising some things, and I realized they were really kind of fitting the mood that one of these things would work. So I just kind of hit record, and this is what came out. So this is about 2.5 minutes worth. So I'm just going to play this here. So I'm going to get these things out of the way. These are going to be pretty solemn, quiet type of thing. So for the next 5-10 minutes or now, we're going to do a little chilling in some music. So sit back, kind of chill with this a little bit, and this will be an example of some things that might be going on behind RP scenes and that sort of thing. So here we go. that's actually gone back to the beginning already, so it kind of will loop itself together. I'm gonna stop it now. So it'll loop itself together. It'll actually go through. A lot of reverb there. Let me turn that down. So it'll actually go through. Again, I think it'll be really good for some maybe RP scenes, something like that. But again, all this stuff is going to be eventually, once it's all finished, I'm going to be putting it out there for everybody to kind of have to listen to too. So if you do want to listen to it to fall asleep, that's okay. We can arrange that. So that's one of the things I've been working on. I am going to move over here. So I'm going to play another one because I haven't actually recorded this one yet, but this is one I've been working on here too. I've been toying with the idea for... I've been toying with the idea of making... So when we're on the Grit, which is our boat, basically our ship, there are times when it is kind of exciting and we're sailing and we're traveling and we're going to another place. But there's also a lot of things on the boat because we spend a fair amount of time there. There is a lot of things that are like RP scenes that happen, role-playing scenes. If you're not into the gaming world and you're here watching, you are welcome, but sorry, I'm throwing around acronyms here. So role-playing scenes. And so I've kind of been thinking that I want to have a soft theme and a driving theme for the Grit. So there'll be two, but they will be similar. And I was kind of playing around, and I think this might be the soft theme. Now, it will have to be heavily adapted to make a heavy, like a driving theme. But this is kind of the soft theme, and I think I might be doing this for the Grit. And then, again, when it's time to make this into like a driving theme, I'm going to use a lot of similar elements as far as melody. Probably pick up the pace, pick up the tempo, a lot more moving parts, that sort of thing. So that will be in the future, but here's kind of the idea that I am working on here. So here we go. Hopefully I don't screw this all up. So here we go. Make sure okay, I got the right instrument in here. So that's what I'm working with there. So obviously that's not a really driving theme for the Grit, so probably not going to work for like those travel times, but I'm thinking like night on the ship, we're doing role-playing scenes, we're talking to NPCs, we're talking to each other, that sort of thing. I feel like that would work for that. And again, I want to kind of adapt. I think the like you could really, you know, like I could make that a faster, more driving type of thing. But again, haven't quite got there yet. Just something I'm working on. So since I didn't have the Skeezer theme kind of polished up for this, I wanted to at least give you a little bit of a taste of things I'm doing outside of the themes here on the stream. So, but now we are going to start working on the Balren theme. So let me get switched over here so you guys can see the workspace, the DAW. So if you are new here, I use Reaper as my digital audio workstation here. Have a lot of different instruments and things I use in here. Today, however, even though I said we don't use piano, sometimes can get lost in these thematic types of things, I'm actually going to start with the piano for Balren's theme. So Balren being pirate, privateer, if you will. I was thinking of something more, again, without trying to be, as he stated earlier, without trying to be Pirates of the Caribbean, because, of course, that's the first thing everybody thinks of. It's the first themes that pop into my head. But I wanted to do something that was a little, almost like, feels like triplets or something, where it's kind of that, so kind of like that kind of a feel to it, as far as like rhythms. But I want it to kind of be in a minor key. Balren is not the cheeriest of characters. I would also argue he's maybe not the most moral compass of characters, even though he does have his own moral compass. Oh, we have an actual pirate, Drake Blackbeard, here in the in the chat. Welcome. So. He is cantankerous, I would say at times, but so anyway, I was kind of thinking along those lines, and I think this is what I'm going to be doing. Just so you know, I'm using a piano today, and I'm actually putting a reverb on here, just to give you an idea. Without the reverb, very dry. However, once you add this reverb in, much more cinematic. So, anyway, just so you know kind of the sounds, how I'm getting those here. So we are going to be having a heavy dose of reverb here. So, all right. So I kind of worked out just a little theme I'm going to be working with here. But I have only played it a couple times, so hopefully I won't screw it up here. Ideas that I'm working with today. Usually I've got a few little things that I'm doing. Basically what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be playing a melody line. It's kind of like 2 phrases long, and then what I'm thinking I'm going to do, at least this is the idea I had in my head, is that I'm going to actually modulate that to different notes. So first one is going to be in A. I think I'm going to go to G. I'm going to go to D, and then to E, and then back to the A. But those are going to be modulated. So instead of just doing chords within one key, it's actually going to be changing keys every time we switch, which kind of can bring a cool sound. I think I know what it's going to sound like, or I know the idea of what it's going to sound like. I kind of had in my head, but I haven't really worked through it yet. So here is what the initial theme is going to be based off of. So that's kind of the idea. I think I'm actually going to do that. I was using the sustain pedal. I think I'm going to do it without the sustain pedal. So that's kind of that kind of jaunt. It's kind of, I don't know, it's got that kind of movement to it. It feels almost like a pirate jig, like a little piratey to me. I don't know, maybe it was just me, but that's kind of the feeling I was getting from that. So again, like I said, I'm going to go through some different key modulations. So this is kind of what it's going to sound like here. So we'll start with the A. Whoops, hold on. What did I do wrong? Oh. Something like that. Either way, I'm going to record it, put it together, because if this is your first time here, you will know I am not a great piano player at all. I wouldn't call myself a piano player at all, so I do a lot of picking things out poorly on the piano, and then I fix them digitally later. So that's the same thing we're going to be doing today. One thing that's a little different about this one, it is a little bit slower. So this is actually going to be 120 beats per minute, where all the other themes so far have been 150. 150 was pretty fast, and it kind of sounded jumbled, so I'm going to slow it down a little bit. So just to kind of give you, that idea, it's a little bit slower than some of the other ones here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to record the first, I think I'll do this one, record the first section in the first key. And then once I kind of get that fixed the way I like it, I'm just going to copy paste it. I'm going to change it to the other keys, smash them together, and we're going to see what that sounds like. So let's go ahead and try recording that first one. Yeah, that was already off time in a terrible way. So let's fix it. So because we're going a little fast, we're working with 16th notes. I'm going to change this to 16ths. Quantize. Definitely got some notes got thrown around in there. Let's see. Some of these notes got messed up. So let's hear where they got messed up. Whoa. Yeah, that definitely got messed up. You know what? I'm actually going to re-record that because that's so far off that it's it's going to be hard to find all of it. It'll just be faster to re-record. So we'll just do take 2 on this. That was a much better take. Let's do that. Let's see how it sounds. Much better. That's what we're looking for. So, all right. So let me trim this up. One there. All right, so like I said, what I'm going to do is instead of having to try to play that all the way through, I'm going to have to, again, I'm just going to cheat a little bit. We're going to copy paste, and then we're going to actually change the keys. So that first one was in A. The next one I want to be in G. So I'm going to go in here. So much cheating. I'm going to go ahead and move that whole thing down to the G. Same thing I'm going to do here. This one's going to go to D. Move this whole thing. So the top note's in A. So move this one down. So much weirdness. And the last one is going to be E. So let's grab all these. Top note is a B. Okay. All right. So in theory, this should all work. I'm going to actually copy it all, make 2 copies of it, so that way we have a little bit longer amount to work with there. All right, so let's just hope it worked. So we're gonna play it here, see what it sounds like. was the exact same one as before. I moved that one too far, so let's move it back. Okay, there we go. So let's hear the third one to the fourth one transition here. And this should wrap back to the first. All right. So I think I like how that's going in there. What I was playing around with earlier, just for some sounds, I wanted something to play most of this piano with the piano, but I wanted it to be a little bit more like bell-like or clangy or something like that. And so I was playing through... whoops, not that one. I was playing through some of the extra instruments that I have here. And ones that I was between is... let's find him here. So I have some bells in here. Let me find them. So also, as Rain Survives pointed out a few streams ago, there is an instrument in here called Ghost Hand Bells, and if you have been watching the stream for Everstorm at all, the character who we're working on here, Balren, did have to go incognito for a while, and for whatever reason, we decided that his alias was Dandy Ghost Hand McGee was his name. So having Ghost Hand Bells, I feel like we need to use them here at some point. I'll just give you a taste of what those sound like. So we're going to have to use those in the future. Not for what I was wanting to do here, but the handbells, I was kind of liking this idea. So what I think I'm going to do here, we're going to experiment. So I'm going to copy what we did in the first one here. I'm going to paste it here so that way it's a copy, but I think I'm going to take this low note out and just have these. And if I remember correctly, these are a little too high, so I'm going to have to take them down an octave so that way they work. Because I'll show you here real quick. The handbells, if you've ever seen a set of handbells, there's only so many. So as you can kind of see, I'll move it over here so it's out of my way here. You can kind of see down here at the bottom where my cursor is, there's a really limited range here. So I've only got about 2 octaves worth of range for the handbells. So I'm going to move these down an octave so that they fit into that range. So let's go down to E here. All right, so I want to see how those sound together. Okay, so that's a good, I think that works, but I do want to try some of these others out because I was playing around with some. I was listening to a dulcimer, which I have in here. So if you don't know what a dulcimer is, it's a stringed instrument. It's almost like a really small piano, I guess, without keys. So if you've ever opened the back of a piano and you've seen all of the strings inside of it there, it's very much set up like that, but instead of having keys in the front where you hit it, you actually have 2 little mallets and you actually hit them like a percussion instrument. So I'm sure once you kind of hear the sound, you'll kind of know, you'll kind of get it. Let's see, here's one. So this was actually if you were to use fingers instead of the hammers. Turn this up a little bit here. I think the hammered one is a little bit more of a traditional. This is probably more of what you're used to hearing if you've ever heard a dulcimer. So that could work. There is a mini dulcimer in here, which I think is just a higher pitch, which I kind of think I kind of think I like for this, because again, I kind of wanted to get that plucky sound in addition to the piano. So if I didn't have the piano in there and I just needed an instrument to be the main thing, I probably would go with the regular dulcimer, because I needed it a little more full. But I don't want to overshadow the piano here. So let's see what these sound like together. So that's a possibility as well. So we've got the dulcimer. We've also got the handbells, which was the first one I did. And then there was another one I was looking at that I've been wanting to use for a while, but haven't found a good one here. So we've got the music box. So this one I actually like the sound in general. So literally like a music box. So let's see what that sounds like in there too. All right. Well, weigh in on which one of those you think you like. I think I'm actually leaning towards the music box, but that could be just me being biased because I've been wanting to use it for a while. So again, music box, handbells. I kind of think the dulcimer may not be right for this. Let's go back and hear the handbells again. See what that sounds like, just for reviewing what that sounds like. They feel a little bit in your face. So I think I'm gonna go music box. I love the music box. I'm just gonna go with it. All right, let's listen to that one more time. Yeah, I feel like it's an insult to call you an unremarkable fellow, but unremarkable fellow. I think you're right. A lot of times innocence, a lot of times horror. Those work. The softest thing. What did I say? Softly. I don't know. I don't know what I said. I'm sorry. I said it so soft. Oh, I love the music box. I do. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead. We're going to make the other parts with the different keys. We're going to make them in a similar fashion. So we'll go in here. We're going to delete the low note. We're going to grab everything else, bring it down an octave. There we go. Next one, bring this down an octave. The low notes. And delete the low notes. All right, so let's hear those all together. I think that'll work. I like it. So we're going to go with that. All right, so we got 2 full instances of that now. Okay, so we clearly need something to go behind this. So I do want this to be kind of a driving theme. Again, this is going to be battle music. And Balren is definitely because he's a druid, he's very combo, casting magic, but also getting in the mix of it and fighting in melee, changing shapes into different forms and that sort of thing. So it is going to be like an exciting type of thing, kind of opposed to the skeezer, which was much more like kind of magical and setting in the background. So this is going to be a little bit more akin to like what the Morgaine theme, or maybe what could be the Kodo theme, work there too. So let's see. Programs used for recording some custom mandolin music for free. If you are playing the mandolin, if that's what you're saying, this one you can actually you can use it as a trial version for free. It's called Reaper. The trial version, the cool thing about Reaper is that in the trial version, it's not watered down. It's actually the full program. It doesn't do we shut down after 15 minutes and you have to make sure you save everything type of thing that a lot of these programs do. It's actually the full thing. Basically, just when you open it, it's going to give you some information about the program. It's going to ask you if you'd like to purchase it. If not, you basically wait for a timer and it says, still evaluating. And so you can kind of go in and you can use it for free. I do recommend trying it out, see if it works for you. And if it does, you can actually purchase the license, which again, there's nothing you get extra for getting the license except the fact that you pay the company that's making this thing so they can keep making it and keep updating it. They update it all the time. They're doing great things. So the personal license is only like $60. So again, it's cool. You can try out the full thing. Programs with virtual mandolin. I don't have a mandolin, however. Sorry, this is a little sidetrack here, so I hope no one minds. But you can get, I'll do it here. Whoops, actually, no, I'll do it in here. So there's a company called, I've talked about it before, Spitfire Labs, Spitfire Studio. This is part of their free stuff. They have a lot of very expensive, not free stuff, but they do release some of this as free. In here, all these things that you're seeing here, these are all free downloads that they have made available. So certain things that you could use that might work, none of them are specifically a mandolin, but if you're looking for a stringed instrument that, this one's very close in my opinion. It's called the Tarango. There's a couple different sounds. I think there's one that's like an ensemble. This one might be the really loud one. I'm sorry if it is. So could be useful for what you're trying to do there. There's also in here what they call the moon guitar, which is kind of I think this is like a Asian instrument. See if I can turn this up a little bit. Yeah. So maybe not specifically a mandolin, but I would say for free, these are excellently sampled instruments. Those could work. There's actually one more I want to point out too. I'm trying to remember what it was. Tarango, sleigh, peel guitars, not that one. Well, actually the dulcimer, again, the fingered version of the dulcimer, I think is mandolin-ish. A little different. But I feel like if you had those, you should be able to, either with a combination of them or even just using one of those, I would think you could come up with the sounds that you're looking for. So check out Spitfire Audio. Their free stuff that they make available is all under the section called Labs, L-A-B-S. So let me get back to the music box. Oops, there we go. Okay, so back to the Balren theme. We need something to go underneath this. So I feel like this needs to be kind of like we did in some of the early ones, kind of those stabs, those quick hits. So like maybe some short strings, short brass and winds. So, oop, I gotta turn the music box off. So, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna kind of play around with just the first little section here. that has just the first key that we're working with. The reason I kind of want to work with that is so because it keeps changing keys, I can't just keep playing the same things underneath it. So I want to figure out what I like in the first key, and then I'll be able to adapt that to the other 3 keys that I'm working at too. So this is part of the Spitfire audio. This is one I did pay for. If you are looking for some really good strings, brass, and woodwind, their strings is like they're pretty good. It's not their top level, of course. This is actually what used to be their top level. They've now re-released. It's only $30. Really good samples, and then they also have a brass and woodwinds. Same thing. It used to be their main that they have now upgraded over the years, but they did re-release the older version that you can get now. Again, $30 for brass and woodwinds. So that's what I'm using here. So what I want to do is, because I want these stabs, I'm going to go to this tightness section over here. Basically, when I hit this, there's a little, I don't know if you may be able to hear me hitting the key. There's just like a real violin would be. It's a little bit of a delay. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to turn up the tightness on this, which should let it react more quickly to my key hits, which I think is going to help with our staccatos there. So, okay, so let's do that. I do want these to be a little louder, so I don't want them to get too quiet. So basically this slider here, what this allows me to do is basically I'm setting the floor, I'm setting the bottom of the minimum volume or the minimum intensity that I can put in here. So like if I hit these notes quietly with it all the way down, I can get very quiet, very subtle. I can still go up and really get it hit hard, but if I turn this all the way up, I can hit it really quietly. So that way I never have to worry about accidentally hitting it too quiet in the middle there. So this is going to let me be intense. Oops, not what I want. Oh, there's actually a lot more in here than I thought there was. Look at that. Someday I'll go through those. All right. Actually, real quick, I just want to hear what the ostinato sounded like. Yeah, that's just the very, very quiet ones. So, all right, so we're going to go back to short, where we were before. Turn this all the way up. Turn the tightness back up. Okay. So again, like I said, we're going to play around with the first section here. Let's see what we can do there. that'll work in these others as well. Let's see here. So then we move to G. Okay, I think that can work. Let's do the same thing we did before, where we recorded in one key, and then we copy paste it and see if that'll work for the rest, and then we can actually make it a little more intricate as we go. Let's see. So, while somewhat on the topic, could we talk about deciding to do PC themes? Can I understand NPCs, locale, and situational themes, but not how to place PC themes? Okay. Let's see. What do you mean exactly about not knowing how to place the themes, I guess? Like, are you asking like how they work within the game, or how I decided what to make of them, or what kind of is your, be a little bit more specific about your question. I'll see if I can answer it here. So while you're typing that in, I'm going to go ahead and, oh, okay. No, I'm sorry. Okay, yes, good question. So these specific themes that I'm doing now, they are going to be specifically for combat. So while the specific character is, when it's their initiative turn in combat, their theme is going to be playing, and then once their turn is up, we're going to be I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to do like transitions, or if I'm going to do like a fade out, fade in, and then the next characters that initiative comes up is going to be, their theme is going to start playing. So it's going to like set a mood for each character. I'm hoping that the theme, like you can kind of hear the theme and realize what's happening, and kind of get the theme and the character married together a little bit there. So that's what I'm trying to go for there. Now, that being said, I have given some thought to, because again, most of these combat themes are a little bit more up-tempo and a little more driving and that sort of thing. But I have been thinking about adapting them all to making, kind of like I was talking about with the grit theme earlier, adapting them all to like a slower theme that still uses the same melodies, the same elements, but a lot more slow, not so in your face, that can be kind of behind. Let's say, like, for example, Balren was, he was having an RP scene with only an NPC. There was no other player characters there, and now we could do, like we could do something like that, slower with, bigger chords behind them. So like I'm hoping to maybe adapt these later into something that can be done for role-playing sessions or role-playing scenes, but also still keep those themes. So again, it can be recognizable. So again, very much like I always use the example of Darth Vader in the Imperial March, because when he first comes on and it's an intense, it's dun 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 dun, and it's like driving and theme. But then later on, like I think of examples of in some of the newer movies, like I think there's in one of the movies you see like the Darth Vader mask where it's all melted, and I think Kylo Ren opens something, it's all melted and it's like in a case. But when that happens, it's the same theme, but it's Dun 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 dun. So it's a lot slower. You know, it's not like a battle scene. So I'm hoping to kind of do the same type of thing with the character themes. But again, I want to make sure that I get the fight scene stuff done first, because I think this can be one, it can be a great place to have music. It's going to be, I think, the most impactful place to have music in the game. So I want to get it done first so we can start using it. And then after that, I'm going to start adapting them. So that way, hopefully, even during RP scenes, we can always have something going, whether it's a character driven, whether it's a little bit more kind of all the characters working together so it's more generic, or, you know, it's a scene between multiple player characters on the grit so we can play the slow grit theme or something like that. So that's kind of the idea among all this. So I'm trying to make this project bigger than just getting done with the themes and being over with. So I want to be able to keep making music on this stream that's going to apply to our gaming stream. So right now, Everstorm is our big game that we show there. But if we're ever doing another game where a lot of us are involved, I might, you know, start working with music for that one as well. But for right now, that's kind of where I'm going with it. So long-winded answers to questions. That's the way I do it. So hope that answers what you have there. All right, so let's remember what I was doing. I was using a different instrument. Let's see here. Oops. All right, so let's record some stuff. Oops. One moment. I forgot to turn my click on. I know you guys can't hear the click, but this helps me put this together so it doesn't all sound like a jumbled mess. Last note didn't need to be in there because I'm just doing the first one, so I can get rid of it. So let's fix that. Oops. Okay. Let's just get rid of that. Move this over here. All right. So again, for now, I might go back and make this a little more intricate later, but I'm just gonna cheat. I'm gonna do the same thing where I changed my keys later, or changed my keys from the original. So let's see if this one was G. I think this will work. Logically, it should work. That doesn't always mean it does. All right. Oops. Alright, let's move. Alright, let's see if it did in fact work. I think that'll work. So let's put that in there now. Again, I may jazz that up a little bit later, but for now that will work as a good underlying thing there. Kind of almost want to see what that'll sound like having the brass do that as well. Those brass and low winds like that usually, or I'm sorry, low strings like that usually go together pretty well. So let's see what it sounds like. Actually, let's do all of them. Let's just do all of them. See how it sounds. See if they go together. I think that works pretty well as the strings and the brass together there. So we're gonna go with that. That's what we'll do. All right, let me look through here. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. I'm sure I did during my long-winded answers there. Talking about some of the favorite games back in the day. I love Golden Axe was awesome. I loved Golden Axe. Didn't really play Rampage or Streets of Rage much, but Golden Axe was awesome. Yeah, Balren will never talk about his backstory. He's super secret guy. He doesn't want to tell anybody anything. Let's see. Yeah, tavern music, we probably would need to do that at some point. Now, some of these, like, I think this would work pretty well in a tavern, but, you know, never know. All right. So, yeah. Okay. So, I think that's good for a start there. I was kind of, as I was listening to that over again, I was thinking about like a woodwind line, like a descending woodwind line in the background that kind of fills in the space a little bit. I'm not exactly sure yet though, so. Let's see. So I want to make sure that up the tightness on this a little bit. Definitely want to kind of stay in that flute piccolo range for this thing I'm hearing in my head. Actually, yeah, this might work. All right, so let's, again, I'm going to just choose the first chord. That way I can kind of just play around with it before I go on to changing keys and all that. All right, I definitely like the... But I need to do something in the second half too, so... See if that works. I'm not sure that note. It might work because it changes key right there. So let's see. Oh, we got a big one here. I haven't seen any of the episodes yet, so on the characters, I like to think tavern theme for Balren, Kodo, new Kodo motif, which combines. Yeah, like I said, I'm hoping once I get through these main themes and I kind of can establish the melodies, that I can put them together. So what I tried to do specifically is to write all of these themes in either the same key or in relative major minor keys, so that way almost all of the same notes are being used in all of the different themes, so we can go right from one to the other. My hope would be that if I just, without doing any editing, just took each theme, put them back to back, that they would flow okay into each other because they are in the same key, similar tempos, similar feel to them. So that's what I'm hoping will happen. So again, I think a lot of that stuff will happen in the future as far as creating those sorts of things, but got to get through these first. So we'll have fun to play with all those themes once we do the legwork. So we got to get through these parts here. So anyway, I kind of like what's happening, what I'm kind of playing with the flutes here. So I want to play around and see if I can make it work. So let's record it, and then we'll kind of manipulate it to go with the other ones. So let's see what happens. Oops, turn my click track back on. Okay. All right, so let's go in here. Those are 16ths. Oh, that was bad. That's not what we want. That's not what we want. I have no idea if this worked or not. Let's see what it sounds like. Okay, that worked. Okay. So, how am I going to do this? So, technically, so I'm going to make a note here, a little longer than that. We'll turn it down. Reasonable here too. So this should allow it to wrap around. Let's see if we can make that work. Okay, so copy, paste. Cheating. All right. Whoops. So this should go down. Let's see if that works in the second one here. Okay, that worked. Let's move this one. Might actually move this one up. Maybe. Okay, that works. And this one. It's pretty up there. Let's make sure that one works. Okay, that'll work. These are extraordinarily loud though, so I'm going to turn them down. All right, so let's hear what it sounds like mixed in here. Okay, that'll work. That'll work. Okay. Okay, let's see here. So, So let's go ahead. We're gonna copy paste all these again, cheating all the way. And again, I'm gonna go back. If you haven't been to the stream before and you haven't heard any of the almost finished products, reason I do a lot of copying, pasting, stuff like that is I try to use these sessions as creative sessions. So I do want to do a little bit of tweaking if something sounds way off, but I try to get an idea down, get it sounding good enough, and that way I have a really good skeleton to work with. If not, put some muscles on there and everything too. But finalizing it, I usually do at the very, very end. So what this allows me to do, again, cheating by copy and pasting to get those ideas moving, get those ideas flowing, and kind of keep the momentum while I'm putting these things out there, and then fine tune later. So, okay, so I do like what's going on here. Let's see. I feel like there needs to be more. Maybe some like long notes moving in there somewhere. But I don't really know yet. I feel like long strings will probably do the trick. So they've got a different mic options that I'm playing with over here. That's one of the cool things about the ones that you do have to pay a little bit for, $30. But what it does is it lets you... they have a room mic, which is kind of like a mic set in the back where you're catching all that reverb and everything. And they've got a close mic where it's right up on the instrument, so you can kind of get a little bit more direct sound, I guess. Yes, I keep seeing the calls for bagpipe. I don't have a bagpipe. If I did, I would absolutely 100% use it. Maybe that's something I'll have to look for, but I do not have one right now. So it might be really dark. It's not that dark, but I think the problem was here. Let me see if I can fix it here real quick. So I'm gonna switch my camera over so you don't see all my nonsense while I'm fixing it. The problem is, now the time changed, is that there's still a lot of daylight in the room when I start the stream. So I was trying to set everything based on when it gets dark. I think I set it too dark. So hopefully this will be a little better. I can already tell that's better. So there we go. Damn sun, California sun. All right. All right. Hopefully that's better. You can see me a little better. I'm not sitting in the dark room. All right. Thanks for pointing that out, though. I was worried about that earlier, and then once I got into the stream, I forgot that I needed to check on that. So thank you for reminding me. Okay, so we have some different kinds of strings in here, so I kind of want to play with these ideas. See what... Maybe I'll do something with that. I know I said I wanted like long strings, but I don't know. Let's go down. Let's see. We'll play around with just this first section. See what we can come up with. Maybe long. I think I want to get those pizzicatos in there to add a little percussiveness, but we'll see what happens here. So what I might be able to do, I'd like to do maybe some swells. So Okay, so I can, let's see here. Let's see if we can play around with that a little bit. Let's see how that works. So I think I might swell. In. You start at halfway. I think I might do is I'll swell in and like at the midpoint hit the top of the crescendo. Come back down, so let's give myself some clicks here. Maybe. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. I don't know how it's gonna work. Let's find out. Let's see. So I'm gonna have to actually move these. I think the swell's still gonna work. Let me make sure. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, so okay, let's see. What is it? Yeah. All right. Let's copy paste. Do it with the other keys. So I need to bring these down. I think all my automation will come across there, so hopefully the swells actually come across when I do that. That's a real low note. And last one. Let's see what that sounds like. Actually, I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get rid of all those. I think what I'm gonna do is through each section, I'm just gonna do the slow swell all the way up to the crescendo at the very end, and that way when it changes to the next key, it drops back down. And then, yeah, swells are a little bit soft. I was gonna turn them up volume wise. I just wanted to get them recorded first. I can always adjust their overall volume later, so. Let's go ahead and get that recorded where it starts quiet and swells all the way to the end. All right, let's see here. make sure the automation works. Oops. Let's try it. Okay. So now let's do what we did again. Okay. Excuse me. All right. G to a D and to an E. Okay. Let's see if that worked a little better. I see what's happening here. Okay. So, because I had a little bit of a tail that came off back here, I think what I actually need to do is, instead of just closing, I need to actually delete it. That way, because what it was doing, it was taking the automation and it was keeping the automation loud instead of jumping back down like it's supposed to. So I think it's because it was happening underneath, it was getting confused. That's okay. Hopefully this will fix that issue. Okay. That was just me being lazy. Let's see if it works. It's still doing it. So this is what I'll do. We're going to record it again. I think this will work this time, so we'll do it a different way. Oh, it's because I got that. Okay, let's try this again. Buried the velocity. Yeah, crazy. I know I can draw that in after. I just haven't played around enough to remember where and how to do that. So I'm going to figure that out in between streams instead of figuring it out on stream. I know I could have done this differently and probably better. So things I will learn before next game or before next stream. All right. Oops. Alright, so let's copy, paste, adjust. Hopefully it works this time. If not, I'm probably just gonna fix it later. But hey, I think I got it this time. Let's see what happens. Come on, swells. Crazy X saying at the bottom I see velocity. Oh. And then I can change it in here. And then I can draw it in. Look at that. Well, maybe I'll do that next time. Yeah. But then I can change it. Because it's not velocity. I think it's actually... maybe it is. I'm not sure what it's actually... Because it's not sliding the velocity. It's sliding the... this one, the dynamics, because I think this is velocity, or maybe that's just volume. I don't know. Either way, I'll figure it out in the future and be better at my job next time. So sorry everyone, I'm not as good at my job as I hoped I was. All right, so that will work for now. Let's see. Feel like this is where I always get in trouble, is when I try to put in percussion. I don't know why, but percussion never quite goes how I want it to go. So I feel like there definitely needs to be some snare in here. So I'm going to put some snare in here. Whoops. Let's make sure we turn this on. So let's, well, we don't have to worry about keys now because it's all it's all the same, or there's no key here, so let's see what happens here. That's what we're gonna do for now. I'm gonna add some reverb to this because it sounds super dry. I don't particularly love the built-in reverb here, so I'm gonna add the reverb I like. Oh. Ooh. It's a pretty big reverb. So what I'm doing over here is basically I'm adjusting how long the reverb tails. So if I put this up really high, if I put it down really low, you'll just get a quick, so much you can't hardly hear it. So it almost sounds like it's echoing, but it's in a really small room, whereas this sounds like it's in a huge room. So I'm trying to find the good medium there. I think it was about 2200 was... It's good enough where you get that openness, but it doesn't sound too messy. So we're going to go with that for now. All right, let's see what happens. Oh, hold on. Hold on. I got too many tracks armed. We only want to do percussion. So I messed up a few in there. I'm gonna cut one that I didn't mess up. So let's do probably here. Oh, hold on. That was not what we wanted. Let's do undo quantize. Do this in eighth notes. Let's try that. Ooh, fun noises. Let's see, probably there was a good. So let's cut there. Whoops. And 2, 3, 4. Let's cut there. Sorry, just clean it up a little bit here. Get rid of that. I think this will sound like I want it to. Okay, that works. Let's see. Not that one. Oops. I think I did last time, which worked out pretty well, is I added, actually, you know what I'll do? I'm going to copy this. Oops. Duplicate track. There we go. I'm going to change this to a different snare. I've been changing the snares over and then putting a little left, little right, and it's actually helping make it sound like a bigger, kind of a bigger sound. So let's see if we can do that real quick. Drums, drums. And put this in there. Turn that one off. Let's see what that one sounds like. Whoa. Should not be. It's supposed to be a roll. Oh. You must have updated this. There used to be a roll in here, but I guess not anymore. Let's get rid of all those bass drums because those aren't going to work. And this one is considerably more intense, as you can hear. So I'm going to be turning this one way down. About right there. All right, so let's hear what they sound like. Actually, I'm going to pan one. No pun intended. 25%, 30% one way. The other one, 30% the other way. Hopefully we can get a little bit of wide stereo feel. Let's see what happens. All right, I think that feels pretty good. Let's move these back here. Let's copy and paste. Apparently it was too long. All right, so that will work for that. I was just thinking of something. Oh, I think the second time through, we're gonna do our trick that we do often with the second part of playing the same thing, where we basically take it an octave up. But I don't want to do that with the piano because I think that's going to be pretty harsh. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to add in strings. So let's duplicate this track. Let's delete all. Whoops. Delete all of that. And what we're going to do, copy paste all these, put them in this track. Let's see what that sounds like. I'll take these low notes out of here though. Okay. So basically this is serving the same purpose as the kind of like the music boxes, where it's doing the same, basically playing the same part, but it's going to be playing it up an octave. So hopefully we'll just play the last section here. Hopefully we can hear where it gets more powerful when it comes into that section. So feel like I want this note in here too. Oops. So basically I need to add those notes in. And the other ones too. Basically just filling in on some of the gaps that are left by the low note being missing there. So okay. Sorry, this is a bit tedious. Yeah, it is a little bit Final Fantasy fanfare. I feel like anytime you try to write any of this type of music, it always feels like it could fit into a Final Fantasy game somewhere. I forgot to change this one. What did I do wrong here? Yep. I forgot to move, or I moved this one to the wrong one. No wonder it sounded like trash. There we go. This should sound a little better. Oh, it's still. What am I doing here? What's going on? What is going on? This one I didn't move. 1, 2, 3, 4. Huh. Weird. Let's make sure I didn't miss any of these other ones. That one's right. Sounds right. Okay. Woo! All right. That was, wow. Okay. We got the right keys now. It was like three things, and 3 different keys trying to play together. It was not pretty, but if I ever want to do something really chaotic, that's probably a good strategy to go for. All right, so I think, again, at the risk of getting too busy, I do want the snare to do a little bit more when it goes up like that, but I don't want it to get too crazy. So I'm going to duplicate this track, delete, and I'm just going to kind of play around with this last section. Oops. I'm going to try to add a little bit more without getting crazy, so we'll see what happens. Let's try it from that part again. Okay, so starting here, I think I just get to add these. Is that right? Looks right. Let's see if that sounds right. Oop, gong. Except they're all really quiet, so... These are all matched, aren't they? Well, let's see what it sounds like. It might just be every note here. Let's see what happens. I don't like it. Alright, take those out of there for now. I think this is what I had before, so... Alright, there we go. Alright, well, thank you for stopping in. Unremarkable fellow. Thanks for stopping in. Alright, so I think I'm just gonna record this in the second line just to make it a little easier. So let's do this. Let's quantize. And let's chop off the end. front. Let's see how that sounds. Hopefully better. I think that'll work. I think I kind of like that. Oh my gosh. 7:42 already. All right, so we got a few minutes here to work on something. Let's see. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything there. Okay, what do we need? Let's see if maybe I can work in some of those pizzicato strings. So let's do, let's see here. Turn those off. I don't remember where they are. I know you're in here. Oh, I'm in the wrong thing. That's why. Hold on. Let's do brass and woodwinds. No, we want strings. There we go. Actually, no, wait a minute. Hold on. What's going on here? I don't know how to use my own program. It's fine. Let's see. Frozen strings. There they are. That's the ones I was looking for. I knew they were in there somewhere. Oops. We don't need drums too. Let's turn off the drums. So let's see. Let's try it during this first part. There we go. Let's just do the first sections a little easier. Like that, but we're gonna try it anyway. I'm gonna have to be a lot of quantizing happening with this, I think. Let's make sure that the tightness is turned up just for let's see what happens. was terrible. That's not gonna work. Let's do maybe 30-second notes. No, that wasn't it. 16th notes. That's probably gonna work. That's better. Okay. So, I didn't go long enough. That's okay. All right, so we'll do this. Oops, copy, paste, paste, paste. Yeah, this is interesting because it's modulating keys, so I don't have to like do any transposition. Well, I mean, I have to do transposition, but I don't have to like figure out new intervals. They're all the same intervals. So it's kind of weird, but it works, so we're doing it. Oops. All right. And the last one, make sure this, whoops, works. All right, let's see how it sounds. That one at all. Oh, I know why. It used to be there. This one sounded funky too. We'll put those in the second part, but they're definitely going to be harder to hear, but that's okay. It's just adding more and more layers and making things happen. So let's just listen to it front to back here. Again, we made about a little over a minute worth of music here tonight. So let's hear what it sounds like, and then we'll go into our plugs and those sorts of things. So again, if one of my TT2KB compadres could log into the TT2KB account and get us up, because we do want to raid somebody at the end here. So it's just hard for me to do both at the same time. So if one of you guys could do that, that would be awesome. But for now, let's take a listen to what it all sounds like. Sounding pretty good. I'm actually going to do one more thing before I get on to my my plugs. I think what we did last time is that we did this pizzicato, and then we also did the Bartok pizzicato, which, if you remember, it's a little more percussive. I'm actually going to turn these up a little bit, maybe 50%. And I did this on one of the previous themes. What I'm going to do is actually take these and put one to the left and one to the right. So I think that'll make kind of a cool, because sometimes with like orchestral instruments, you don't want to go too much left and right because you kind of want it to all be together a little bit, but I want to make sure I still get some stereo field. So let's see if we can hear that. Yep, I already like that better. Okay, so that's what we're going to do there for now. All right, so I think we got a solid start on a Balren theme. Definitely made like an A section tonight, which has kind of been the sort of format that we've been going with these last with the themes that we've been working on, where we kind of do the first night we do the stream, we do kind of section A, and then the second night during the stream we do section B. So definitely want to do that. I feel like, and maybe this is the Pirates of the Caribbean influence, like entering my brain, but I feel like even though this sounds different, definitely need to get some of those thundering drums in here. I feel like it's necessary for any pirate theme. And again, maybe that's Pirates of the Caribbean's fault, I'm not sure, but I feel like some thundering drums behind this is going to be needed at some point as well. So that's what we'll be working on. Next time, again, we'll do section B. Maybe if we get time after section B, we'll start getting into those drums. Otherwise, I'll do that off camera, and we'll definitely get you, let you guys hear that once it happens. Anyway, so again, thank you for joining us tonight. Bardic knowledge on our TT2KB channel, which stands for Tabletop to Keyboard, if you didn't know already. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. And again, thanks for all those even new people that were chatting. We welcome chat. You know, there's no such thing as a bad question or bad, that sort of thing. So if you have a question about something that I'm doing, go ahead, throw it at me. I'll try to answer best I can. If you think you hear something interesting that could happen in there and you want to make a suggestion, throw it at me. I'm happy to try things out. I won't keep everything. I might keep some things, but again, just throw it at me. Make it a little bit interactive. You guys can have your parts in this too. But we do want to throw out some shout outs and some plugs. So let me get through here so I make sure I see them all here. So first of all, I'm wearing some of it. We've got merch, TT2KB merch. There is specific merch for not only the whole channel, TT2KB, the Monday night show, Wisdom Check, that Rain Survives in Plague State. Part of Plague State, Dustin in Plague State. They do together. It's a talk show all about gaming and kind of every facet of nerdery that you might like. It's super awesome. We've got Bardic Knowledge t-shirts for this show. There's Everstorm shirts for our D&D game that we play. So check those out. That does help us a lot as far as monetarily. If you do want to support us, that's the best way to do it. Also, we've got past broadcasts of not only this show, but also the Wisdom Check show and the Everstorm, and I think Terror in Treefall, which is another game that Dustin run. All sorts of things. Those are all actually up. Past episodes are up on our YouTube channel. Also, a lot of the intros that we did. Crazy Ike does some work with. I'm totally forgetting the name of the Unreal Engine. I think it's Unreal Engine. One of those engines. He does a ton of work with it and did some intros for all of our characters, so you can check those out there too. So check out our YouTube channel. Please join our Discord. All these things are linked in the chat here. Discord, we are having a lot of fun with. We started it in hopes that people will get there, and we've got a ton of people on there now. People just sharing things as simple as just jokes and comments, but also like building cosplay, costumes and weapons, just digital art, music. There's looking for groups if you're looking for a gaming group. all sorts of things on there. Really active community. Tons of content creators on there too. So we've got a whole section just for promoting your content. So please join the Discord. Come see us, hang out, chat, whatever you want to do. Use it how you like. Would love to have you there. Other channels we are affiliated with, first and foremost, Air Laser, who has been doing a lot of our linking in here. She's at all of our stuff. She's got a ton of our merch. She's got her own channel, which is kind of variety stream. She does video games. She's been doing a lot of puzzle games recently. She does D&D on there, so a whole bunch of stuff. Definitely check her out. She is our mod of forever. She's awesome. She's done great stuff for us. Also, we're part of the stream team. So stream team, big kind of the main, I guess the main channels in there right now are ourselves, Grouch Couch. So check them out. Liching Hour and Dragons in the Dining Room. Sorry. All gaming related, nerd related, video game related type stuff. We are going to be adding, I believe there's going to be some more in there soon, so stay tuned for that. Not exactly sure on all the details yet, but there should be more in that soon, so definitely check all them out. We're actually going to be raiding Liching Hour after this. Let's see, did I forget anything? I think that's it. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I guess it's because I've been plugging our C2E2 panel, which we've already done. So if you do want to check that out, though, I believe it's up on YouTube. It's also up on, I think it's still viewable as one of our past videos on Twitch. So it was all about homebrew games. So making your own world, sandbox, creating villains, creating backstories for characters, a whole bunch of stuff in there. It was great. We loved it. We had a lot of fun. We had a ton of people there to see it live in person, so we were really excited about that. Yes, I believe we are doing 7 Days to Die tomorrow. Good call. 7 Days to Die. I think we might actually hit one of the 7th days tomorrow night. I'm the one that's in charge of building the base this time, so we'll see how much we survive or get destroyed based on my base. So we'll see. So tune in tomorrow. Probably be 9:30, 10 o'clock, somewhere around there. Central time that we'll jump in there. Oh, yes, you guys are reminding me now. I'm totally forgetting things. Podcasts. So on iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio, you can actually listen to The Wisdom Check, which is the show I was talking about on Monday nights, because it's primarily talk show, so interviews and things like that works really well as a podcast format. So if you don't have time to sit in front of a screen and watch the whole thing, you can actually listen to it in the car, on a jog, at the gym, whatever. You can have, I think, all past episodes on any of those, iTunes, Spotify, or iHeartRadio, so whatever you choose. Super great for that, especially if you want to catch up, because they've been going well over a year now, so they've got a ton of content there to check out. And yes, last but not least, cannot believe I forgot, David Lee Pancake. Check out his art. Check out his Patreon. 3D artist, Rain Survives Dad. Like I said last time, I had the honor of working with the booth with him, seeing all that art in person finally. I'd only actually seen pictures for such a long time. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Everybody that came by the booth was in love and in awe with everything. But go to his website, check it out. You can purchase things there on his website. His Patreon is new, so check out his Patreon. There's going to be videos of him, the creation process, building stuff. Also, I believe on his highest level, his highest patron level, you can actually, I believe if you are a patron for a year at that level, you actually will get sent one of his big kind of like hallmark taxidermy dragon heads. They're absolutely amazing. Eyes light up, super great detail and texture. So definitely go check him out. Definitely consider doing the Patreon. Lots of cool content there. And again, you kind of get a layaway program for one of those big dragon heads you can put over your fireplace and act like you slayed it yourself. So I think that is actually it this time. I feel more complete in my plugs. So if we would, hopefully somebody's got a raid ready. I think I saw that they jumped out to do so. Yeah, so we're going to be raiding Liching Hour if at all possible. So I'm going to throw us to our exit screen, but stick around. We're going to be jumping over and raiding him. Again, thank you for joining me tonight. I'll be back next Tuesday doing it again. We're going to be hopefully putting our section B here on the Balren theme. So again, thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.